What should you prioritize if you want to feel full while you're eating? Fiber, 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 fiber. Fiber is what gives food more substance, okay? When you eat vegetables, it might look like it's a lot of calories, right? A piece of broccoli looks like, hey, it's pretty big, but there's not a lot of calories in it because it's mostly water and fiber. It has a lot of vitamins and minerals in it. So the bang for your buck when you eat fibrous food is you're gonna get a lot of nutrition and you're gonna get low calories. And carbohydrates, right? Foods that have carbohydrates in them with fiber, that's going to cancel out on the net of carbs. Now, how does that work? Well, because your body doesn't digest the fiber, it then passes through your system. So although it might say 30 grams of carbohydrate in it, if there's 5 grams of fiber, there's actually only 25 grams of carbs because that's what your body actually ends up using. So if you think about it, well, my mouth is getting 30 grams of carbohydrate, but my body's only getting 25, for example. Okay, that might be an example with a certain food. I just made up those numbers. But that allows our mouth to do this more work where we're chewing more, where we're getting this bigger bolus of food going in, but our body's not absorbing it. So I get more than what I kind of, ate, right? Or I get less than what I ate. So you get the benefit of feeling full because it emptied into your stomach and it's going to pass through you, but you're not going to absorb it all. So it's not going to lead to more calories in for your overall daily needs. So what sparked this for me? Well, I want to talk about this because I eat this meal. I've been eating this meal and it has a ton of fiber in it. And I'm like, man, it's really hard to get through all this food. I had to I was like, I can't even finish all of it, which is super rare for me because I have an appetite. I can eat. I used to race friends. They would eat one Chipotle burrito and I would eat 2 giant Chipotle burritos, 2 in one sitting, and I would beat them eating 1. So I can eat fast. It's one of my problems with digestion, right? I need to slow down on things, but I have a crazy appetite. I always have. I'm pretty active. So, when I eat these things, I'm like, wow, how does this slowing me down? But when I look back on it, I was like, oh, wow, it has my meal, which I'm going to tell you, it has 40 grams of fiber and 50 grams of protein. Low in carbs, I think it only has maybe, probably like 40 grams of carbohydrate, probably not even 40 grams of carbohydrates. There's probably, 60, 80. There's probably 70, 80 grams of carbohydrates, maybe even less. So it's got a good amount of carbs, good amount of protein. I might throw some fats in there as well. But what's the meal? It's tempeh. Okay, so sometimes I'll cook up tempeh. I'm not vegetarian anymore. I used to be, but and only for like a year and a half. I just tried it out. I'm always trying different things, but I still like making some tofu, making some tempeh, doing different types of meals. Soy curls is another thing that I'm into. But they have a lot of fiber. Tempeh has a lot of fiber. It has a lot of protein, and it has a little bit of fat as well. So that's good. And then you've got peas and corn, or peas and carrots. Sorry, not corn. Peas and carrots. So I do this little combination of peas and diced carrots, and then black beans or pinto beans. And I just mix all that together, all right? Cook them all up, mix it all together, throw some butter and salt on it. You can spice it up however you want. Sometimes I put some different hot sauce on it, but tiny little bit of butter if you're feeling fancy, but sometimes I don't even do that. Just salt and maybe some hot sauce. But that meal has a ton of fiber. I think it's close to around 40 grams of fiber, 50 grams of protein, maybe 60, 70 grams of carbohydrate, but the net carbs ends up only being, because there's 40 grams of fiber, it only is like 30 grams of actual carbohydrate in it. So I'm getting a big, I forget how much fat overall is in it. I have to look that up. But the main idea behind this is it's like 40 grams of fiber. I think the recommended daily is like 35 for men. And I've been doing this research and I'm going, I eat way more fiber than that. My bowel movements are really, really good. I feel great. I'm super healthy. And I think fiber is generally recommended super low. I think they're just telling you, just get this, you need to get this amount to survive. And I don't even think people are getting that much. When you eat foods that are processed, they have barely any fiber in them at all. So the takeaway is, if you want to feel full and you want to be healthier, eat real foods like vegetables and fruits, and I mean, things like tempeh and tofu, they're going to have fiber in them because they're from a plant. But if you're eating, especially if you're eating lots of meat, lots of protein, because you're prioritizing, let's just say, strength training, which you're going to need if you're strength training, you need those proteins, then eat some, you're going to have to eat more fiber to help balance out all of that, and it's going to help make you feel full. Some people say, well, eat protein to help you feel full, eat fat to help you feel full. I can eat all the fat and all the protein in the world and it doesn't fill me up. Like I said, 2 Chipotle burritos, okay? Tons of protein, tons of fat, okay? Tons of carbs. How much fiber is in there? The beans, maybe, okay? There's some with those beans, but if I'm eating lots of, cruciferous vegetables, okay? If I'm eating a big salad, if I'm eating peas and carrots, if I'm eating lots of beans, and my meal is it's a big portion, but for me, again, I should be able to be slamming this thing down, and it's slowing me down. So again, you have this big portion, and your body only absorbs so much of those carbohydrates because the fiber cancels out, or the fiber goes through your system. So it'll help you feel more full as it goes into your body through your mouth and into your digestive tract. So that's one strategy, and that's why so many people recommend eating healthy foods. It's going to make you feel more full. Plus, you get this other benefit of getting more nutrients, getting more water from your food. We talked about water before, drinking water with your food. If you're not eating healthy, if you're drinking a ton of water with your food because your mouth is like dry, you need that. That's a sign telling you that your food doesn't have enough water in it. It's probably processed food, or it's probably cooked too much, so that you're draining all that water out of it. Steaming your food, baking your food, or if you bake, sometimes you can dry it out, but if you steam a lot of your things, cooking it with water, slow cooking, those things keep a lot of that in there. And then just eating raw fruits and vegetables are going to keep all of that water in there. So that's something that, again, you get more out of it, of those foods, because they have all these other things in them besides just the fiber, but the fiber will help you feel full, and it's great for your body. It balances out so many different things, but that's a tip on how to feel more full when you're eating. Eat more real foods, fruits and vegetables. Try my meal. Beans, any type of bean you like, but I like black beans or pinto beans with some peas and carrots and some tempeh. You could throw in any meat, all right, that you want. You could do whatever it is that you want, but that fiber combination, the peas and the carrots are going to have lots of fiber, or mainly the peas, and the beans. Beans are going to have a ton of fiber as well, depending on which one that you get, but most of them do have a lot of fiber. And that's all we got. Thank you.